Okay, guys. Yeah, let's talk about the Chelsea game against Crystal Palace. And yeah, obviously Chelsea dropped point again, and 4 games in a row, 0 win. 4 games in a row without a win, and it's really, really disappointing watching this team. The way they perform now, the way they are playing, it's really, really disappointing. And the way they are performing in the second half, the game against Everton, the second half performance was poor, very, very poor from the team. The first half they played well against Everton. They created some couple of chances, which Nicolas Jackson missed. You know, and the second half against Everton, they should have even lost that game. Everton were the better team in the second half in terms of the chances that they create. Chelsea did not really create anything in the second half. Everton created the better chances in the second half. Yeah, and they dropped that point. They did not win that game. The game against Fulham, the first half was better. They played well in the first half against Fulham. They played well in the first half, created some couple of chances. Yes, they scored first, but they were missing some. They were missing their chances. The second half, Fulham were the better team in the second half. They pushed more, they created better chances, which they end up winning the game 2-1. And then the game against Ipswich, again, the first half, played well, created a lot of chances, but they were missing their chances. Obviously, Ipswich scored first through a penalty that for me, it wasn't a penalty. And then the second half, Ipswich for me were the better team in terms of the chances that they create. How many saves that the Chelsea goalkeeper made, Jorgensen, in the game against Ipswich in the second half. Chelsea did not create anything for me in the second half. And again, this game against Crystal Palace, the same thing. They played well in the first half, scored a goal. You know, that was a very good goal from Cole Palmer, and a very good play as well from Sancho. They made it 1-1 and 1-0. And then they were playing well, creating chances. But the problem with this team now is, for me, is being clinical. Yes, we know defensively, Chelsea are not the best team defensively. But I feel like the biggest problem this team is facing now is to score goals. They are struggling to score goals now. I feel like this team desperately need a striker. They desperately need a very good striker. Nicolas Jackson, I'm sorry, he's not the guy. You know, we thought he has improved. Even me myself, I thought he has improved in terms of how he started the season. I thought Nicolas Jackson has improved, but he's still the same Jackson. He's still the same. This guy has been missing chances almost in terms of these 4 games. Obviously, he didn't start the game against Ipswich, but he came on that game. He had a chance, one-on-one. Yes, that was an offside, but at least you scored the goal. That was one-on-one. He missed it. So Jackson, for me, is still the same player. Chelsea need a striker. They desperately need a very good striker, you know, to help this team to play ahead of Jackson. Because with Jackson, I don't think we'll go anywhere. In terms of if we want to win the league, if we want to challenge for the league, Jackson is not the guy. He's not the guy. How can a striker be missing clear chances like that? In this game again, in the first half especially, he missed a lot of chances in the first half. So some couple of good chances in the first half. You know, Chelsea desperately need a striker. But again, the performance in the second half was really poor for me. You know, the performance in the second half was really poor. I feel like they did not do much in the second half. I feel like for me in the second half, Crystal Palace were the better team for me in the second half. I feel like they created better chances than Chelsea, you know, in the second half. You know, Chelsea did not really create much in the second half, and that is what has been happening to this team. These 4 games that they have dropped points. They will play well in the first half, and then the second half, they will come out in the second half, you know, performing to a low level. It wasn't like this before under this coach when the season started. Chelsea, even the first half, sometimes they will not start the first half well, and then the second half they start performing better in the second half, and then they will win the game. But now they are not even performing to the level in the second half. They'll start the first half well, but then they'll be missing chances. That's the reason why you have to be clinical. And you know, this Chelsea team can't 1-0 lead for Chelsea. This team, it's not a lead. They will always concede goals. That is the problem with this team. They will always concede goals. So if Chelsea want to win games, they have to score. They have to kill the game. If they score 1, they have to make it 2, and even 3. That's the way it looks like they can win games. Because defensively, Chelsea defense is not the best. They will always give you opportunity. They will always give you, chances to score. And even when they were even leading 1-0, I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't confident in the team. That I wasn't confident that they would keep the lead, especially seeing them missing chances, and especially the second half, the performance wasn't up to the level. And then I was even more worried that they would concede goal. So when they even conceded that goal, it wasn't a surprise for me that they conceded that goal. This season, Chelsea have only kept 3 clean sheets this season. This is Chelsea, 3 clean sheets. The game against West Ham, I think they won that game 3-0. The game against Bournemouth, they won that game 1-0. And then the 0-0 draw, 0-0 draw against Everton. That was the clean sheet for Chelsea this season. Then the other games in the league, they always concede goals. So if Chelsea is leading 1-0, if you're a Chelsea fan, you should be worried. You should be worried because until the game is done, it's over. That's the only time you can say, okay, they won the game. With this defense, it's really, really poor again from this team. So for me, the performance was really poor in the second half. The second half performance was really, really poor. And for Nicholas Jackson, I've said it. Jackson is not the guy. I don't think he's good enough to be the number 1 striker for Chelsea. I think Chelsea need a striker. I think Chelsea need another striker. Even if he will be back up for Chelsea, fine. But he's missing a lot of chances. If Nicholas Jackson was to be clinical, Chelsea should be winning this game in the first half 3-0. 3-0. Obviously, Palmer had another chance that he should have scored. The cut back from Neto in the first half. He should have done better there. I think that's a chance. That's a big chance that Palmer should have scored there. But aside from that, it looks like he's the only one that is scoring goals for Chelsea. These 4 games, Chelsea scored 2 goals. And that 2 goals was from Cole Palmer. The 2 goals was from Cole Palmer. So for me, Nicolas Jackson, it's not the guy. I think he's the same player. He hasn't changed. He hasn't improved for me. We thought he has improved in terms of how he started the season. To be fair, he started the season very well, but he is the same player in terms of how he's finishing. He can't finish, especially when this is the time that this team needs Jackson even more, because you need to score goals to win games. Chelsea need to score goals to win games. So this is the time they even need Jackson to be clinical even more, and he's missing clear chances. So another poor performance, from this team. Another poor performance from this team. The positive for me is Achimpong, the young, the defender Achimpong, the academy player. For me, he's the positive in this game. I feel like in the defense, I feel like he was even the best defender, in the game. I feel like he was really, really good. Really, really good, comfortable on the ball, the way he's holding the ball. His playing from the back was very good. He was so calm on the ball. Defensively, I feel like he was good as well, especially playing against Meteta, a big striker like that, and he was really, really good against the striker. I feel like he played well in the game, and it's good that the coach trusted him because he was very good, and I will not be surprised if he starts the next game against Bournemouth. And talking about the next game against Bournemouth, that would be a difficult game because Chelsea have to win that game. They have to win that game against Bournemouth, because if they don't win that game, I think it will be a problem because the top 4 now is shaky. We were talking about competing for the league before, so a couple of weeks ago we were talking about competing for the league. Now it's not the league. It's even if we finish in the top 4 now, because the way the team is playing, we could even drop from the top 4 because Newcastle, they don't look like they want to drop. They don't look like, they look very, very serious. Newcastle, 6 games in a row they have won in the league. 6 games, and their striker is scoring goals now. He has scored, I think, straight 7. The last 7 games he has scored. So he looks serious. Newcastle looks serious. They are competing well now. So if Chelsea, if they don't sit up, top 4 will be a problem. As it is now, the top 4 is even shaky. As it is now, it's even shaky. And even Manchester City, Chelsea now is topping Newcastle with 1 point. But before this bad run, Chelsea was topping Newcastle with 11 points. Now it's 4. Sorry, now it's 1. So when you look the 2 teams with their form, from now till ending of this month, January, which of the teams you say will even be top from? In terms of which of them you think will drop or will continue their run? It's Newcastle. Because Chelsea doesn't look like they will even win their next game. City themselves are coming. Even if City, I still think they are way off their best for the. Yes, they won their game against West Ham 4-1, I think. but West Ham is very, very bad team. Like they are not good. So winning against West Ham for me is nothing. They are not a good side. Winning against, for the last game that they won before West Ham was, I think, against Leicester City. Also, I watched that game. They were not really, like, if Leicester City were to be clinical that day, I think they wouldn't have won that game. But at least they are getting the result now, 2 wins in a row, and they are Chelsea ahead of them still with 2 points. This is a team that has been, their performances have been poor, their form has been really, really bad, and then Chelsea, they are just behind Chelsea with 2 points. That will tell you that Chelsea have to pick up their form, because if they don't, if they drop point again, Chelsea could be 5th or 6th, the next game. So yeah, the performance was really, really poor again from this team. The second half performance, especially for the first half was good. I feel like they played well in the first half, but the second half was poor. Like I said, for me the positive is Acheampong. He played well for me, so he's just the positive. Now the substitution, Enzo Maresca made just 2 substitutions in this game. McGeough and Noni Madueke, late substitution. They asked him in his press conference after the game. He said the players were playing well, so there was no need to make a lot of changes in the game. Obviously, Christopher Nkunku did not come on in the game. Also, Joao Felix did not come on in the game. I'm just mentioning these 2 players because they are the experienced players for the, or they are the top players that are on the bench that the coach. Obviously, this James is also on the bench, but it looks like the coach is not ready to play with James now. But for him not to bring in Christopher Nkunku, or bring on Christopher Nkunku and Joao Felix, it shows that this coach doesn't rate them. For me, it looks like the coach doesn't rate Nkunku. It looks like the coach doesn't rate Joao Felix. How can you have a player like Joao Felix on the bench and it's not coming on? A player like Christopher Nkunku on the bench and it's not coming on. So it looks like the coach doesn't rate them. So yeah, I mean, if Chelsea are not careful, top 4 will be a problem. And if Chelsea doesn't finish in the top 4 position this season again, it's bad. It's bad with the players that Chelsea have. With how they started the season. They started the season very well. They don't finish in the top 4. No, it's not good at all. It's not good. I will not say the coach should be sacked, but it's really, really bad. It will be really, really bad if they don't finish in the top 4. But I feel like they need a striker. If it will be possible, get a striker this January. Because if they want to depend on Nicholas Jackson, he would disappoint you when it matters. I think that's one thing with this player. When it matters, he will disappoint you. I thought he has improved. It's clear that he hasn't improved for me. It's clear that he hasn't improved. So yeah, another poor performance again from this team. So your thoughts, your opinion on the game against Crystal Palace. And also guys, if you're watching the video, subscribe to the channel, Blue Point TV on YouTube. If you're new, and also like the video as well. It's really important. You're also on Facebook. You can follow the channel, Facebook, Blue Point TV. Share the video as well. Thank you guys. Stay fit, stay safe. I'll see you again. Bye.